So let's go ahead and get started, guys. We're gonna begin with a plank position, hands wide on the chair. So take your hands wide onto your chair surface, make sure it's in a stable position, and step your feet back 4 inches apart, parallel. You can kind of glance back. All 10 toes are shining straight forward. We want to make sure that we're lifting off of the elbows, broadening the collarbones, lengthening the heels away from the crown of the head. As we're holding, we want to draw the navel up and in between the shoulder blades, lifting the heart between the shoulder blades. Maybe we can lift our heart emotionally a bit today too as we're going through these difficult days. Let's inhale broadly into the back side of the ribs. Exhale any tension we're holding in the body, really narrow the ribs around the spine. On this next one, I'm going to ask you to intentionally shift all of your weight into the right leg, into the abdominals. And then we're going to slide a piece of paper under the left foot as if we're passing a note off of our mat. But we're keeping the foot in contact with the floor. The pelvis doesn't move. And then we're going to draw it back to start. Again, inhale as we slide that imaginary note across the floor. Pelvis is quiet. Bring it back in. Last time on the left side. Inhale as we slide that note. Exhale as we bring it back in. Recenter your weight. Draw the navel up and in. Lift off of the elbows. Broaden the collarbones. With intention, transfer the weight to the left leg through the abdominals and glide that note off to the right. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, we're gliding the skin of the ball of that right foot off of the mat and with intention bringing it back in. Last time. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we bring it back in. And with intention, we're going to rise all the way up and off of the chair. All right, let's go into a step up where we're going to use the chair as our basis, like we would use the machine in studio. The right foot is going to go on the chair first. So bring the flat right foot all the way onto the chair. Use your inner thigh on the left leg to bring you up into a releve position. You're on the ball of the left foot, right foot is flat. You're going to keep your sternum over the pubic bone, hips are level. Melt your right hip down towards the floor a little bit. Find weight under your right foot. So you want to feel the back side of the right leg active immediately. Exhale as we bend the left knee, lowering down. Inhale as we bring the left inner thigh up alongside the spine and out the crown of the head. Find weight under the sole of the right foot as we work, exhaling down. Inhaling as we bring it up. Keep working on your end. I want you to imagine that there's a strong spring between your upper inner thighs. So as the legs separate while you're going down bound, you want to find resistance and connection to the inner line of the body. And we're going to find the breath and the lift to rise up. We want to make sure we're finding the connection to the sole of the right foot, and that's going to help us find the back line of the leg as well. Additional challenge, arms can come up and overhead, not required. Inhale to float and lengthen to rise. Exhale as we lower down. Let's hold the next one about halfway. Hold the left leg bent, find weight under the sole of the right foot. Play around with your left heel height. Send it down maybe ½ inch and see if you can find some shake. I certainly did. The idea is we want to find the spot where we're finding the most effort and the most work. We're not just going to park on the top of the ankle joint. So send that foot down a little bit if you need to, and let's work in this middle range. We're going to exhale, lower down. Really feel that right thigh bone sink in. Find weight under the sole of the right foot. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. Small range of movement. The middle range is really the tricky part. Find weight under the sole of the foot. Sink the femur head deeply into the pelvis. Draw the navel up and in between the shoulder blades. Last 3. Last 2. We've got a variation coming. Hold the left leg long. Come all the way up. Hold and breathe. Peel the right heel off of the chair as well. So now you're on the balls of both feet. Balance challenge. Arms come alongside you. Find tricep activation, sending them long behind you. Now we go down, full range of movement, exhaling down. Inhale as we bring it up. It is super shaky for me too, guys. You can always touch onto a wall or something close by that will assist you. If you've got a workout buddy, maybe you guys can hold hands today. I see you, Newport. I see you. Inhale as you bring it up. Exhale as we bring it down. Last two. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale as we lower down. This is the last time, gang. Inhale, bringing it all the way up with intention. Right heel melts down. With intention, left heel melts down. And remove your foot from the chair. All right, let's go straight into some side bending. I'm moving my chair for demonstration. You don't have to. We are going to sit on our left hip. We're going to sit on our left hip like so. I have the foot in front of me, and the height of my chair, I have to have my foot raised. If your height allows your foot to be flat, that's even more ideal. All right, right leg is out long to the side, left leg is parallel. Here we go. You can use your left hand as we kind of build up. We're going to inhale as we arc over. Exhale, use the base of the ribs to bring you back up. All right, not too bad. Let's see if we can try that hovering the left hand off the chair. We want to keep it there just for kind of a balance support if we need it. If that feels good to you, then let's go ahead and bring both arms up and out. Inhale, reach that right inner thigh through the floor. Exhale, base of the ribs returns us upright. We should be feeling major waistline activation. Fan open the right ribs as you arc up and over. Exhale, base of the ribs returns you to start. You can choose what your arms are doing. The long arms is going to be more challenge because we're lengthening the lever. You can always put your hands on your hips, and that is going to dial it down a little bit. So pay attention to what works for you. Inhale as we arc. And the left hand is always an option for support on the chair. Exhale as we bring it up. That might even allow you to bend further. It's not always about just making it easier, right? It's about finding a good range of movement and a great challenge for your body. Here we go, two more, guys. Inhale as we arc. Exhale as we bring it up, lengthening and narrowing around the waistline. We're gonna hold this next arc. I'm gonna have my left hand on the chair. You can choose where you want yours. We're gonna hold the arc. Give me more length on the bottom waistline, fanning open the top ribs more. Reach the right inner thigh long through the floor. Here we go, we're gonna rotate up as we hold the arc, and exhale, bring it back to start, 4 times only. Inhale as we rotate, so we're adding rotation to side flexion. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale as we bring it back, last time. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale, bring it back with control. Bring it all the way up to that starting position. Awesome. Let's go into a chest expansion. So we're gonna have the chair stable behind us and sit right on the edge. Hands come to the edge of the chair, and we're gonna have our wrists as open as possible. That's gonna take less pressure out of the joints. Bring your feet and knees in a closed parallel position. I'm now very close to the edge of the chair. Knees and feet are in closed parallel position. I'm gonna load my body weight into the hands as I slide my pelvis and behind off the chair. Notice, guys, that I'm upright, so I haven't walked my hips out in front of me. The shoulders are stacked directly on top of the pelvis, knees are just in front of the ankles. From here, we are going to magnetize the outer thighs and use the inner thighs to pick up both heels off of the floor. Again, find that shaky spot. Do not park out at the top of the ankles. Find that shaky spot where the backside of the legs are very active. Inhale to prepare, lift off of the elbows, broaden the collarbones. Exhale as the elbows drip straight behind you, activating through the back body and the triceps and the shoulders. Inhale as you bring it up. Exhale, notice your sitting bones are broadening at the base of the core, right on your seat. Inhale as you narrow and they come together. Exhale, sitting bones broaden, the inner thighs are spiraling up towards the sky. And then we lift on an inhale. So we're exhaling as the elbows bend and we crease deeply at the hips. Inhale as we bring it up. Hold. Let's imprint the right heel down with intention. Now we've got an unlevel surface we're working on. Exhale as we lower down. Right foot is flat. Find weight under the sole of the right foot and under the ball of the left foot. Exhale as we lower down. Outer thighs are still magnetized. Inhale as we bring it up. Press the left heel through the floor, peel the right heel up, level out the belt line. Here we go. Exhale as we lower. Inhale as we bring it up. One more like that, guys. Exhale as we lower. Inhale, bring it up. Good news, we're gonna hold this next one just an inch bent. Tiny bit, tiny, tiny bend. Broad collarbones. Peel both heels up. They're now at the same height. Magnetize the outer thighs. Imprint both heels down through the floor as your muscle pants draw up, and then peel them up via the inner thighs. Oh my gosh, it's wicked, wicked hard for me too. Imprint the heels reaching through the floor below you as your muscle pants draw up beyond your waistline. Pick up both heels, holding here for 5, for 4, broaden the collarbones for 3, for 2, with intention, heels melt down through the floor, and we sit onto that chair. All right, guys, let's go into some squats here. We're gonna do some taps because we have the chair today. Bring your feet 4 inches apart, parallel, all 10 toes shining straight forward. We're gonna start towards the edge of the chair and find equal weight on the soles of the feet. I like hands on hips to start with. We're gonna inhale as we rise all the way up, and then we're gonna exhale as we crease at the hips, broaden the sitting bones, and I want you to imagine just your pants get to sit down, not your body. Inhale as you bring it up. So we want a very light touch, but I want it to be intentional. I don't want it to be kind of a bounce. We want to think about, oh, the pants get to sit down, but just before you get to sit down, we're on our way back up with an inhale. Let's add the arms, guys. We're gonna exhale as we lower down, and then we're gonna inhale as we pick it up. Keep working. For those of you who are new, the reason we're inhaling on the effort, on the way up bound, is to find stability in the spine and core connection. I want it to feel light. You better still be squatting on your end. I want it to feel light as we rise. It shouldn't feel like a huh. That's not gonna get what we're after. That's gonna recruit global muscles and not find synergy in the whole body. So I want you to think about the ribs lifting off the pelvis, pelvis lifting off the legs with an inhale with lightness as we rise. All right, that's enough talking. Let's hold the next one about halfway. So find your next one about halfway here, hold and breathe. Isometric challenge. Plug the arms down into the middle back. I'm gonna show you from a reverse position. We can often be here like this, and I'm gonna ask you to melt the shoulder blades down, funneling down the ribs into the pelvis. For 5, for 4, we've got a side bend in 3, in 2, with intention, inhale, with lightness, come all the way up. All right, let's get that side bend handled, guys. We're gonna sit on our right hip with our left leg extended this time. So sit on down on your chair, your right foot comes in front of you, left leg stretches out to the side to ground you. Inner thigh reaches longer than the sole of the foot the whole time. I'm gonna keep my right hand on the chair for this side. You know you have options now. We are going to inhale as we arc, and then we're gonna exhale. Really think about those ribs narrowing around the waistline to bring it back to upright. Inhale, fan open the top ribs, keep length on the right waistline, and then exhale as we bring it up. So we don't wanna crowd that waistline just because we're arcing to the side. We wanna find length on all directions. What's happening with the legs? Did we kind of check out of those legs? Make sure the right foot is imprinting down. Make sure the left inner thigh is reaching long the whole time. The whole body is working. Exhale as you rise up, stacking everything to start. Inhale, think about adding space between the ribs as we arc. So really fan open. And exhale. On this next one, we're gonna add that rotation, okay guys? Here we go. We're gonna inhale, arc, hold, actively lift off of that right hip. Try not to hunker down into it. Here we go. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale as we unwind. We're going for 4 of these. Inhale, think about adding space between the vertebrae as we rotate and flex. Exhale, bring it back to start, still in flexion. Inhale as we unwind, reach that left inner thigh longer than the leg, reach that right foot through the floor. Last time. Inhale as we rotate, exhale as we unwind, and we're gonna rise all the way up. Let's get into that step up. So we're gonna have our left foot on the chair this time, and our right foot on the floor. Left foot is on the chair, right foot is on the floor. So it's gonna look like this, okay? From here, guys, find weight under the sole of that left foot on the chair. Activate through the back side of the leg. Use your right inner thigh to lift the foot off the floor. It comes alongside the spine and out the crown of the head like a puppet string. Level out your belt line, melting the left hip to the floor. Exhale as we bend the right knee, the left hip creases deeply. Inhale as we lift all the way back up to start. Now on this side, you already know about that foot on the ground and where that heel is going to give you a lot of feedback. So if you can find a more challenging position, keep working on your end. If you can find a more challenging position for that heel. So the idea is I don't want you parked all the way at the top of the ankle. That's using the joint and not using the musculature up the body. So think about playing with that heel height. You can see me just even standing here, it starts to shake. When I get it into that mid-range, that's gonna fire up all of the musculature in the leg and connect you to your core. All right, guys, let's go for one more here. We're gonna hold that middle ground. Hold that middle ground. Arms are up, or if you want to get a tricep activation, they are here. Level out your belt line, find weight under the sole of the left foot. We're working in that middle range. Little tiny down and a little tiny up. I want you to visualize your femur bones as your levers. So they are working together like so as we lower and raise. So it's not about the feet pushing us down and up. Get closer to the core. Move from that ball and socket joint that are your hips. Here we go. Hold the next one low. Inhale with intention. Straighten out that right leg. Kneecap absorbs into quadriceps with intention. Left heel picks up. We're now in the balls of both feet. Arms come up and overhead. Plug them down. And then we're going to do full range of movement on the balls of both feet. Exhaling down and inhaling to bring up. Exhaling as we lower down. Level out that belt line. Keep working, guys. As you're working, you're going to notice that left hip wants to kick up like this. So level out the belt line and keep everything organized. Last one. With intention, heel goes down onto the chair. With intention, heel lowers down onto the floor. And go ahead and come up and off of that surface. All right, guys, we're going to go into a plank. I'm going to offer the chair as an option. If it doesn't feel great for your body, feet can stay on the ground. I have a delivery coming to my house right now that includes champagne, no shocker, and so they're asking for my ID. Hold, please. Ryder, come help me, please. We're going to set up the plank, and I'm also going to instruct my son. We're going to have our hands on the floor, and our feet come onto the chair like so. From here, we're going to lengthen the tailbone from the crown of the head, and we're going to keep equal weight across the palms and across our feet. Thank you. Keep holding that plank. Get my purse from my bed. I see. Get my purse. Sorry, you guys. Unexpected interruptions. This truly is live. So holding that plank. Ella, please get off of the mat immediately. Thank you.
Where's your bag?
It's on the chair. Holding that plank, guys, we are going to simply think about the weight pouring into the left hand rather than in the right. We're not going to move it. Don't you dare. Don't. And then we are going to shift all of the weight into the right hand. And then we're going to shift it back. Ryder, go give this to the man at the door. Then we're going to shift it back into the left hand. Apologies, you guys. And then we're going to shift it back and forth between the hands. The hands are not actually lifting. We're just transferring the weight with intention from side to side, and it gets into the diagonal sling of the muscles. So we're just alternating the weight. You have two more.
What are these?
Equal out the weight. Just leave it. From here, guys, we're going to inhale as we lengthen up and back. Exhale as we return back to the plank. We're going into pikes. Thank you. Inhale as you lengthen up and back. Exhale as we lower back down. Inhale. Really think about your pelvis drawing up and back. You can do this on the floor or the chair. Exhale, bring it back. Last one, guys. Inhale as we lengthen.
Can I do some zombies on the TV?
Yes. Exhale as you unwind. And with intention, bring both feet down to the floor. All right, guys, we're going to use that chair instead of a foot bar like on the machine. And we're going to go into a bridge. Today I'm going to ask for a long bridge, which means we're not going to bend our knees. If that feels aggressive to your body, you can always do the knees bent version. So it'll look like this. We're going to bring our heels onto the chair and lay down onto the mat. I'm actually going to be just beyond my heels, so my heels are free floating. I'm more just below the calf muscle. Arms are active in the floor and my heels are touching, toes are turned out. Then we're gonna inhale, thinking about the glutes, working with the abdominals to float the legs up into a diagonal line. Then we're gonna exhale as we crease at the hips and bring it back down. You can adjust as needed to find a comfortable spot. I'm scooching down a little bit on my chair. Now I'm kind of above the ankles but below the calves. Exhale as you lengthen down and inhale as you bring it up. So really think about the glutes working with the inner thighs, working with the hamstrings, working with the middle back and the core to elevate and lower. Exhale as we crease at the hips, lengthening the body down. It's kind of basically now an upside down version of that plank we just did with the pike. If you bring your hands up, I think you'll see why that is true. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale as we lower down. We're gonna hold the next one up and go to single leg raises. Hold. I encourage everyone to bring their hands to the mat, imprint the arms and middle back actively, and now the right inner thigh is gonna float that leg up towards the sky, and then we're gonna bring it back down. Transfer your weight. Left leg floats up towards the sky, and bring it back down. At your own pace. Inhale, we're in external rotation with the leg to pick it up. Exhale to bring it down. Inhale to pick it up. Exhale to bring it down. Keep working on your end, guys. As we're holding, I want that middle back very active, imprinting into the ground. The glutes are lifting you up to hold you in that beautiful diagonal, kind of upside down plank position. Hold the next one with both feet down. I want the heels glued together, upper inner thighs are spiraling to the sky. Hold and breathe, glutes are lifting, arms are active for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and with control, bring it down to the floor and hug your knees into your chest for a quick moment. All right, guys, staying on the floor. I'm just gonna move my chair out of the way for demonstration. We're gonna stay on the floor and we're gonna go into a crisscross. So you're gonna have your knees bent on the floor. You won't need your chair for this. Hands come up towards the sky and interlace behind the base of the skull. We're gonna lengthen the head like it's a hammock, tractioning and lengthening the spine out. Collarbones are wide, and you should be able to see your elbows from the corners of your eyes. Straight away, we're gonna float the right leg up into tabletop, level out the pelvis. Make sure that you kept your natural curve to your spine. We do not wanna mash our back into the mat. So lengthen your body out, knee is plugged in, lengthen the left leg out, holding here. We're gonna do 4 without changing the legs at all. Here we go. Left shoulder blade peels up. Think about your ribs coming to the thigh, not your elbow to the knee, and bring it back down. You are not invited to add any wrinkles to the front side of your body or your shirt. Let's go for 2 more here. Inhale as we rotate. Leg is levitated up off the floor. That left leg is reaching long the whole time. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale, bring it down. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Right leg levitates. Left leg is tabletop. Right shoulder blade picks up as the ribs reach for the inner thigh. Exhale to unwind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to unwind. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to unwind. Last time on this side. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhale. Now we're going to switch. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale, we're switching. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, switch. So we're alternating sides, gang. We're keeping the pelvis quiet, and we're using that rotation to find the lift and the length. I'm even using my hands to traction my spine. So I'm actually kind of dragging up and out rather than just a turn and lift. So it's a traction and an elongation of the body as we work. We're finding those beautiful long lean lines and improving functionality of the body as we work. Let's go for 1 more each side. Inhale as you rotate, exhale back through center. Inhale as you rotate, exhale through center. With control, bring the arms to the sides. With control, use your abs to lower your legs to the floor. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go into a mermaid leg sweep. So we're gonna sit on our right hip like this. And if you want to, you can prop your hip, the one you're seated on, with a yoga block or a couple paperback books if this feels tight to your body, or even a sofa pillow will work. All right, we're gonna keep the leg bent today. Hands come to the hips just to kind of level out the pelvis. The left hip will be raised a little, that's okay. Here we go, gang. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna transfer our weight a bit to the right, and that's gonna float the left leg up and off the floor. Toes, shin, knee, thigh, it's all up off the floor, and you can see I've leaned to the right. Now let's see if we can pick up our torso a little bit and find more core activation rather than just trying to hang out on the floor to this side. Okay, moving from the femur bone, I want you to visualize this bone spinning forward on an inhale. So we're swiveling it forward on an inhale, both sitting bones anchor, but the foot is still raised. And then on the exhale, it swivels back. So these are kind of nice pants because we can see that swivel. Inhale as we swivel, bring it forward. Exhale, unwind that femur and bring it back. See if you can shift your body weight a little bit less. So on this time, can you keep your core a little more centered than when we had it just a moment ago? Exhale back here. This is gonna be our last one. We're gonna hold and do a little reach back. Hold and breathe. Now I'm sending the leg back. 6, right under the glam line. 5, I'm opening the front side of the hip, lengthening the torso. Last 3, arms overhead is always an option. Last 2, last 1, and bring it all the way in. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go into a 4-point kneel. We're gonna have our hands underneath us. We're gonna have our feet 4 inches apart parallel. I'm gonna ask us to do TA hover taps, deep abdominal hover taps. So notice the tops of my feet are flat. I'm not gonna flip the toes today. Nod the chin, round the upper back just a tiny bit. We're lifting from under the ribs. Shins get very heavy, and then we're going to hover the knees because it's like we have a hammock or a burlap sack under our ribs hovering us. Keep holding and breathing. You should feel like you have this lift coming from under the ribs, not a push from the hands and the feet. And go ahead and set the knees back down. Let's go again. Nod the chin, round the spine. Exhale as you round and lift, little tiny lift here. Hold and breathe for 5. Think about rounding the upper back for 4, but keep the lower back relatively quiet for 3, for 2, and lower it down. You should feel a really deep core connection, really close to the spine. Last time, here we go. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you round from under the lowest ribs and float the knees just an inch or 2 off the floor. Hold and breathe. Give me soft elbows for 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring the knees all the way down. All right, guys, let's go ahead and have our mermaid sweep taken care of on the other side. So now I have the right leg bent behind me and I'm anchored on the left hip. Here we go. Swivel that femur head. We're gonna pick it up and then we're gonna swivel that leg forward on an inhale, both sitting bones anchor down. And on the exhale, we're unwinding. That right knee and foot are not invited to touch the floor at any point. So we are going to inhale as it comes forward, exhale as it goes back. Additional challenge means the arms go up and out. Exhaling back, inhaling forward. Try to shift your weight as little as possible. It's definitely gonna lean, that's okay, but we're not trying to do it a whole lot, okay? 2 more like this, then we're gonna do that hold back. Exhale on the way back. Inhale on the way forward. Let's hold this next one back. We're gonna do 6 little pulses from your glam line, right where your glutes and your hamstrings meet. Last 4, try to keep yourself centered, arms up if you can. Last 3, this is 2, this is 1, and bring the knee down. All right, last thing today, downhill ski, because we can. Hands come wide onto the mat, shoulder width. We are going to go into a closed parallel position. No light between the knees and toes as we step back into our plank. This is the last thing, guys, stay with me. Exhale, we're gonna swivel the knees to the right as the pelvis reaches back to the left. We're not really lifting our hips up at all. They're staying low. Inhale, swivel back to your centered plank. Exhale, take the other side. I want you to really focus on the shoulders not being the driver. The pelvis and the core are dragging you back as if you're dragging through molasses. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, slowly drag it back. Narrow around the ribs. Inhale for length. Magnetize those outer thighs as we exhale. And then we're going to inhale as we reach. Exhale as we drag it back. Inhale as we reach. Now that we have the hang of it, let's pick it up the pace just the last few. So we're still doing it with control. Now we understand it's not the shoulders swinging us around, but let's pick up that pace for the last through. Really get those endorphins flowing together, guys. I'm so happy to be working out with you. Let's go. One more each side. Exhaling here. I'll do it if you'll do it. Inhaling here. Exhaling, bring it back. Inhale to the top for 8. Hold and breathe for 7, 6. Navel's up and in between the shoulder blades for 3, 2, and shift back into a downward facing dog. You can open up the feet a little bit. Allow the heart to melt between the shoulders. You can look back at the toes. Take a nice deep breath here. And let's go ahead and walk the knees down. We're going to go into a little cat-cow. Hands go wide. We're going to exhale as we round and lift. Inhale as we gaze forward, arcing through the spine. Let's come back to neutral. We're going to walk both hands to the right, so now we're in a little bit of side flexion. Exhale as we round, stretching through that left hip and left side body more significantly. Inhale as we arc and unwind. Keep working. We're going to shift to the other side. I'm just going to show you from a different perspective so you can see what's happening. Exhale as we round. It should look like this. You're turned slightly to the side. Inhale as we're arcing and gazing forward. Let's come back through the center. Hands are shoulder width distance. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you gaze forward. Come back to neutral and go ahead and sit back into a child's pose. Big toes are touching, knees are out. Hold the arms long in front of you. While we're holding this pose, I'd like you to inhale kindness. Inhale love and acceptance. Let's exhale pain. Let's exhale tension. Let's inhale a thought of love or goodness of how we can improve the world today, how we can bring some light back to the darkness that is really seeming to be overwhelming. Let's set our intention for a thought of something we can actively do today to improve the life of someone around us, ideally someone who has been marginalized. How can you improve someone else's experience today? And let's go ahead and exhale as we come all the way up. Beautiful job, you guys. It did my heart so much good to be working out with you.